This is the JB Show, and it's your life by design.
How are we all doing? Are we good? Good afternoon once again. My name is Joe Abass Bangoa. How many of you are meeting me for the first time? Seeing me in person? Seeing me in person for the first time. Okay. How many of you are hearing about me? And we're studying about branding, how personal branding, how to stand out. There's a lot that has to do with my own story and how I became a brand myself. That would make for some interesting discussion. But I have a flow, a chart, that a design, a curriculum that I want to follow, because this is meant to be a training, something that you can, you're supposed to be certified for. So we'd walk through a couple of things. You have to, you have to know when you're trying to build a brand. What I'll have to do, we have a lot of people. If you just, for me, life is spiritual. So part of my brand values is based on that. If we could just bow our heads, you have a faith, you believe in God, and then we'll just bow our heads and give 30 seconds of reverence. Ask for illumination, ask for creativity. You're not here by accident. You're here because you're supposed to be here today. That something should happen, could happen, would happen, that would transform your life. You had a lot of things, a lot of other places you should have been today. You're not there. You're here for a reason. We're here this morning to hear the president, being inspired by him, 200 miles away from Freetown in Tihum, born there, and he ends up in Freetown. He ends up in the country as a president. Nothing is impossible. We pray that today would unleash, even the next 3 days, would unleash a big part of your destiny, that you'll be looking back and say, this is when it began. This is when it happened. We receive that grace. We receive the inspiration. In his most precious name we pray. Amen. So part of brand values, like I said, for me, life is spiritual. Creativity. God is the biggest creator. God is the biggest brand master. So we would have to just walk through the room. We would selectively go through people. You can't. There are too many of you. We can't go through the class. But you need to tell us 3 things. We'll go through, and I want you to tell me 3 things. Now, I want you to tell me your name, what you do, and tell me one memorable brand you know. A memorable brand, a brand you know, a personal brand that you know. Your name, what you do, and one memorable brand. The name could be a person, but who is the brand that's big for you as far as you're concerned? What's the arrangement for us to get microphones around? Is that possible? A-W-O-N-O-U-G-A, not A-W-O-U-G-A. So the brand is Wahid, Dr. Wahid. A-W-O. Can we spell his name correctly? Who knows his name? A-W-O-N-G-A. A-W-O-N-G-A? Somebody prove that for me on social media. Just check again so that we don't write his own name. Write his own name. I want his own name there. And so that's one brand. Let's take a lady. Your name. Did you tell us what you do? Your student? Tell us what you do.
Students.
Where?
At Milton Magai Technical.
What are you reading? Public health student, Milton Magai, and he wants to know about brand. Yeah, your name, so we'll just speak here. Just go through.
Deliciously. I'm Deliciously Abiatis Abiadu Hughes, and I actually study public health.
Public health.
Yes. And one brand that I know, which is actually going to be so powerful, is my brand that I'm actually working on. It's the AAG's Masterpiece.
All about God, yes. Masterpiece.
Yes.
AAG Masterpiece.
Yes.
So, okay, that's brilliant. So tell me and give me another brand that is memorable. You think about it, you're so amazed. VJ?
VJ Army.
V-I-J-A-Y.
Yes, Vicky James.
Vicky James.
Yes.
Let's go quickly. Yes. John Kamara. You're a salesman?
Yes.
Okay.
The brand I can remember is
Vusi Tembekwayo. Vusi Tembekwayo. Student.
At University of Management and Technology,
Unimtech. What are you reading?
studying human resource management.
HR, Human Resource Management. Yes. Continue.
Well, I can say a brand that I know or is
Memorable for you.
is Bintuma Clothing Line. She's a young girl, inspiring most of us into this business world. Young girl, if I can say 22 or 20K. So I am admiring her.
Admire Bintuma. You say Bintuma? Bintima.
I can say she's intelligent, smart.
Intelligent, smart.
Smart.
What else?
Bold.
Bold. Intelligent, smart, bold. Yes.
That's all.
All right. Intelligent, smart, bold. That's enough. Let's go to the next table. Take 2 again. Kajawara.
I'm a student in IPAM.
Yes. What do you read?
I read information technology.
Yes.
I'm in year 1.
Yes.
Actually, my brain is actually I'm a salesman.
Salesman.
Yes.
I like that. Okay.
My brain is Agilu Amlam Jalo. He's the CEO of Amlam SL Limited. So
Sierra Leone, right? Sierra Leone.
Yes.
CEO Amram Limited.
Yes.
Tell me, what is it about him that you are enamored about?
actually, he is passionate about the well-being of others, and
Any specific kind of people? Passionate. So put passionate about the well-being of. I want you to describe who are the kind of people. Is it general?
actually, let me say the less privileged people.
Passionate about the well-being of the less privileged.
Yes.
So I want that sentence, Pamela. Passionate about the well-being of the less privileged. Yes.
And also, is the type of human who is actually, if you have a problem, he will always give you ears. Even if you are wrong, he will listen to you first and then tell you that you are wrong or you are right. And
So it says good listener is a good listener.
Yes.
And caring. Good listener and caring. Let's take that. Let's go. We need to run. Your name, what you do, and who's your brand? What's a memorable brand, and what is memorable about that brand as far as you're concerned?
Okay, so I am Millicent Shabateng. I am a 4th-year civil engineering student.
Civil engineering. So you're going to be building buildings, right? I like that. Okay.
Private college, and I am a girls empowerment and youth development advocate.
Girls empowerment and youth development advocate. I like that.
So the personal brand that I'll talk about is Aproko Doctor. Yes, so
Is he a comedian?
not exactly. He's a doctor, and he has a very humorous way of putting out content that has to do with the human body and health.
Like, nice. He has a very humorous way. So what is it about him? So write the name. Can you spell it? APR. Aproko. Aproko. So you say humorous way of passing on information about health. Humor in humorous way in passing health. I only want women to talk now. Ladies, we need 2 more ladies, then we proceed.
I'm Atholina, and I'm a student of IPAM, Information Technology.
Can they hear you?
I'm Atholina Smith.
Atholina, yes, Smith.
Yes, please. A student of IPAM.
What do you study?
Information Technology.
IT, yes?
Yes, please.
Your brand, who's your brand?
So I'll say I don't really have a specific one.
Possible. C'est pas possible.
No, yes.
There's somebody out there, either musician, footballer, a medical doctor. You're studying IT, right?
Yes.
Maybe somebody in your profession. You must have a brand. You must have somebody. Maybe even the person who it was for his, or whoever that person was that you chose to do IT. Something. Give me.
Well, if there's one person I will say, he has his farm actually in IT, and he's a lecturer also at IPAM.
Okay.
Yes. Well.
What is it about them?
Yes, the qualities I will actually name is because he just has his way of passing the information.
He has a way of passing information.
Yes,
What's that kind of way like?
He's very strict.
He's strict. Put strict there if you want to. Okay, put strict.
No, but then he has a way of getting it to people that makes people understand and love what they do.
Simplicity, clarity in communication, yes. Clear communications,
exactly. Yes, and he's a lecturer also at IPAM also.
Okay, okay. Now, what I'll do, there's somebody there, we'll just do the books. Let's call names, just call the names of brands, most outstanding brands in the country. Let's call names. Give me some names. Generally, you say? Joe Abass Bango, right? Joe Abass Bango. And now qualities. It will be interesting because you have to be able to describe what is it about those people that made them a brand, because this is part of this journey. And you know, my civil engineer lady, I'm normally not very good with names. I shouldn't be saying this. I should make sure I hear people's names once and it should stick. But I remember a civil engineer. She has already begun to describe what brand she is, and maybe whether you know that or not, but that's part of what we're going to study today. So that each time somebody asks you who you are, what your name is, in 1 minute, you're going to come up with a sentence that clearly describes who you are, and would have the formula in terms of the components of what goes into building that. So Joe Abass Bango, give me some, because it's the adjectives. I want us to just throw in some adjectives. What are the adjectives that you would say Joe Abass has that makes him a brand, you know, or you're enamored about? Yeah. Perseverance. What else? Work ethic. What do you mean by work ethic? Timing, you know, work ethics, you know, yes, crazy guy. Public speaking. What else? Yes? Consistency. Give me another brand. AYV is a brand. No, personal, not organizational brand now, not corporate brands now, but just personal, individual brands. Give me one more. Give me two more. Yes? Cowdinero. Yeah, Cowdinero is a brand. You wouldn't laugh. Why are you laughing? Somebody says Cowdinero. Right, Cowdinero there. Tell me about Cowdinero. What makes him a brand? What is it about Cowdinero that stands out? He's a rapper, so it's rapper. There's a skill, there's a competence that is required for you to. How many following does he have on social media? 70 what? 70,000. 70,000 you know, subs on YouTube. You can't deny that. You know, so it's Cowdinero. So he's a rapper. What else? Perseverance. Yeah, right, perseverance. Write it down. What else?
I'm sorry. Immature.
No. Yeah, put it there. Well, when I'm making a brand, he says immature. Put it there. I mean, you want to take him to task on that. He says he is immature. Yes, let's go. That's his opinion, right? That's his opinion. I was watching Vusi this morning, and he was talking about the between truth and opinion. Opinion is what people have of you, but you know the truth about yourself. But let's get one last brand. Yes. Professionalism. Who is professional? Cowdinero, professionalism. But when you say professionalism, what does that mean? On time, discipline, you know. So just put discipline, there's consistency, there's time, and what else? One final one. Fatima Bio. Write Fatima Bio. And tell me the qualities about Fatima that you are enamored about.
She's dedicated.
Dedicated, right? Dedicated there.
She's
Selfless.
She's bold.
She's bold. And somebody say fearless. So it's the same thing together. So she's bold and she's fearless. What else? Outspoken. What else? Passionate. She's passionate about what she believes in, and she's done a lot over the last couple of years. That's the first leg of the journey. Now, we are going to put some brands, some photos of brands. Who's this? All right, let's move on. Who's this? Drizo. Let's just walk through some of the qualities. The qualities that you mentioned here, what is this? Public speaking, what is that? It's it's Vusi. John Salesman, what is it? Public speaking. If you have adjectives describing things, what does this describe? No. What, you know, okay, let's go to adjectives. This adjective describes something. What does it describe? Does it describe, what activity does it describe? Now, boldness, what is boldness? If you're describing boldness, what is boldness? Boldness is an attitude, right? It could be an attitude. It could be a way you do things. But how do you compare boldness with public speaking? Public speaking is what? Is what?
Confidence.
Not confidence, not bold speaker. There's a word I'm looking for. It starts with C, C-O-M. Not yeah? It's a skill. It's a competence. So therefore, keep that word. You either, the things that we use to describe brands, personal brands are either in their competence, or, so a competence, obviously, competence comes with skills that they have that makes them extraordinary, that makes them stand out. Because don't forget, we're talking about what is it that makes you stand out? Why is it important for us to stand out anyway? So what is it that makes us stand out? You're either talking about their confidence, their competence that they have, or their values. And all of the stuff that you've been talking just now is a description of their values. Well, let's look at this chart. Memorable brands. If you put all of this together, you'll have 4 things. What's the first one here? Authenticity. What does authenticity mean? Original. You know, when you call LJ, you don't say LJ, not LJ. Anybody knows LJ here? Una no sabe LJ. But LJ na LJ is authentic. And somebody say just no, somebody immature. They're just being who they are. It's natural. They are just being who they are. So once you begin to build, if you want to build a brand and you're standing out, you have to be yourself. You have to be who you are. You have to. There's some natural attributes that this is just you. Anything other than that is not you. And so sometimes, you know, people may have issues with that attitude or whatever personality that you have. But that's just you. You're authentic. It's a brand. And it's funny, when people try to be somebody that everybody would love, you cannot be a brand. There's almost a controversialness about standing out, such that once you stand up for something, you're going to alienate a group of people. Am I talking? Once you stand out, and that's what he's saying. He's saying stand out. How do we stand out? Once you try to begin to stand out, you're going to alienate a certain set of people. So you have to just find out who are the people that are aligned to this my authentic way of behaving. And sometimes those things are not immoral, they are not illegal, they are not unlawful. It's just their own way of doing things. It's just their own way. But they never use this whatever immature way and, you know, say it like you feel it, and you know, but everybody. So it's part of the attributes of brand characteristics. Memorable brands, they tell stories. They would normally tell stories. Memorable brands tell stories. And I could ask you now, you know, AAG, you know, what's the story behind? It's something you have to. Every memorable brand is accompanied by a story. You know, those of you who know Joe Abass knows the Joe Abass story, right? Yeah. What's the Joe Abass story? Yes, born to illiterate parents, failed O levels, blah blah blah. There's a story behind. Then realizing, you know, it's not just my future is not determined or shaped by the quality of my parents or the level of my parents. Because I know where I'm going. I know where I'm going. I know what gets me there. It's like mathematics. If I do this, this is what I get. And because I know, you know, any deviation would not give me the result. So if you could see the results, then you could walk your way. So there's always storytelling around, and there's visual identity that carries a brand. Tell me about visual identity. Tell me anything you see around there that is a visual identity of a brand. Tell me. Point something that is a visual identity of a brand. Yes? Oh yeah, it's okay, I have jackets. He says I have jackets on, so that could be part of brand identity. Give me more. What else do you see in this room? The logo. So there's Life by Design. This is the logo. You will see it all the time. You see the ladies? These people are from my office. I give them hard time. If you could imagine, say it's strict. I give them hard time. But there's from my office, but you could see it's part of. So there's a visual identity. There's a logo, the way it's designed. 3 things that makes a brand. You have what you call the brand pyramid. Personal brand. We're talking about personal brand pyramid. Make some notes. Personal brand pyramid. You'll be surprised. Make some notes in your computer. You know, you will take some photos if you like, take some photos. But this personal brand pyramid, you're going to have an assignment just now. We're going to have a classwork, and this is the brand pyramid. Yeah, take a photo. The brand pyramid has 3 components. The foundation to it is mission and core values. Why you do what you do. Why you do what you do. Why you do what you do. You know. Mommy, what did you say your first name was? Delicious?
Delicia.
Delicia. All right. So, all right. So mission, core values, the foundation, strength and expertise is next. What are you good at? What word did we use to describe this just now over there? We used one word when we were talking about somebody's. Yes, we used the word competence. So, a brand is a combination of your mission and your core values. What you do and why you do it. What you're good at. What you're really good at. Which will be civil engineering. But the mission is checking why. Why do you do this? The mission is checking what. What is it? What is it you're passionate about and why? This is just a competence, and sometimes if they align, it goes big. But once you can have an expertise, and it's this that steers how that expertise is deployed. And then the third was your unique voice and storytelling, how you communicate. This is where we're talking about whether it's Cao Dinero. This is where the authenticity comes in, because you have to be you have to be natural, you have to be just you. What strengths you have, and what unique way do you communicate this? Somebody said just now, Dr. Aproko, he has a just massive humorous way to communicate. Massively humorous way. And that is about the unique voice that they have. Storytelling. So it's these 3 things we want to put together now. How many of us are through? You're through to the form? Good. It takes you to. I have some genius ladies around me. President Bill was talking about 30%. Almost percent woman in there. So this in my team, it's 60%. All right. So it will take you to a form to fill. Tell me what you see in that form. In the personal brand canvas. It has questions that are there. Yes. Read for me the first question.
First question, top 3 strengths and skills.
So it starts with your strength. Remember, we were talking about competence, right? That's what I want you to feel now. In the space that is there in that form, fill that form. When you fill it, make sure you can screen grab it, because it's something you need. We didn't want to print, wanted to go digital. And not just print, so too many papers. So, but right, it's asking you, answer the question at the top there. 3 strengths and skills that you have. We're going to take turns to read what we've written once we've gone through it. If you have any question, but please, this is very, very important. It's very important. You wouldn't realize the deliberateness that is involved in building a brand. But this is where it starts. Start with, okay, what 3 strengths do I have, me, as I'm seated here? What's 3 strengths? What's 3 big skills you have? What 3 strengths and what 3 skills do you have? That's the first question. What 3 strengths and skills do you have? What 3 strengths and skills do you have? It could be copywriting, data analysis, public speaking. It could be any of this. Start with your strengths. What 3 strengths do you have? The next question talks about values, right? Core values. What are your core values? Integrity, innovation, collaboration. What is it? What are 3 core values that you have as an individual? that you say, this is what defines me. When people talk about me, this is what everybody says. And it's not just around your competency now, it's really about your values, things you care about, things that you don't break, laws that you can't even break. So like integrity is a value. Integrity is a value. Innovation is a value. Collaboration is a value. You're somebody who wants to just build bridges. Yes, question. Yes, ma, go ahead. You want to ask question? Okay, you didn't want to ask question. But please, I beg of you, take notes, answer these things. They are very, very important. You know, I know every now and again, whenever I'm in a room, I know I'm not sent to everybody. So I know the ones I'm sent to, and you could see the hunger that they have to catch what you have. And I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. But please take this serious. This I get paid $1,000 for one session like this. If that means anything to you, I get paid $1,000 for one session like this, a 2-hour session like this. If you know the amount of preparation that went into this to prepare, I get paid $1,000 minimum for a session like this. So please take it serious. There are tons that are wishing they could have a one-on-one session. This is a one-on-one session. They're wishing they could have this one-on-one session. So please take it serious. So let's go. Values. What are your values? I've already given you 3. And this work that you start mustn't end, because you have to find a way to describe yourself, who you are. What do you care about the most? That is around values. The third question is around your passion. The third question is around passion. What are you passionate about? Building community, networks, teaching code classes. In one, I don't know whether it was, you know, somebody mentioned what you said. You actually mentioned what you are passionate about. What did you say you are passionate about? Girls empowerment and youth development. She said that's what she's passionate about. So flow it there, and whatever else is added to there, write it down. You have to begin to. The world is too noisy. It's too noisy. I'm happy I stood out. It came at a price, but you know, like I said, you know, one of my staff, I was coming. They were given invitation cards, and so you know, they were going to share invitation cards, and I said no, I wanted one, and they said no, you don't need an invitation card. Your face is an invitation card, because people see you, and it's you know, they would stop people not come. The police from down where I was coming up. They would stop people, they wouldn't stop you. But that's the power of standing out. If you have 1,000 students, 2,000 graduating from university, it's only the ones who would deliberately decide, I'm going to stand out, I'm going to build myself into a brand. That's all this is about. Build myself. There have been lots of Joe Abass. You know, my name is Joseph Abass Mangura. There are lots of Joseph Abass, people with that name. But there's only one Joe Abass. In this generation, I could go back 6 years. Nobody, I could go back as long as I can remember, nobody with this name has stood out like my name has stood out. You know, and I don't say it to make boast, I'm just saying it because there's something around deliberateness, intentionality. Somebody was talking about consistency, because, like I said, I know where I want to go. And so there's a consistency that's required in IB, because believe you me, not the crowd, once you go this now, who's in the line up for take motorcar, all due respect to people with the line up, but the masses, the masses are always going to be there. So you have to decide whether you want to be amongst the masses. The only way you could avoid being amongst the masses is to intentionally say, I'm going to stand out. I'm going to be different. Comes with a price. So your passion, what are you passionate about? She's already said what she's passionate about already. You write down what you're passionate about. If you've completed those 3, leave these questions, leave the next set of questions, we'll go to them. But even from what you've shared now, share with the next person. 2 people next to each other, just share amongst yourself. Name 1 strength and 1 value that you've just written. 1 strength and 1 value, 2 amongst yourself. So it's going to happen this way. Somebody says, this is my strength, this is my value, one of the strengths and one of the values, and the other partner will repeat back. I heard your top strength is that, and your core value is that. Okay, did I hear you right? That your core strength is this, that your core value is out. Then you flip. So you first tell him your core strength and your values, just one, core strength and your value. He listens and he reflects the back to, okay, I hear you say one of your core strengths is this and one of your core values is this. No, it's two. No, it's everybody across. So it's two. You're going to pair up now. The person on your right, I hope we balance this off. 2, 4, 6, 7. This is 7. But 2, 4. One core value, one strength you have is this, and one value you have is this. And you say yes. There's something that happens when it begins to echo in your head that you begin to define who you are, what strength you have. So let's go 2, 2, 2 each. Let's go now. We have 5 minutes to do that. Share one strength that you've written. Share one strength that you've written and one value that you've written, and get the person to reflect back to you. Please take this serious. Share one strength, share one value that you have.
Creativity.
One strength, one value that you have.
Divine faith.
Share one strength, one value that you have.
Christ-centered
Identity. Yes.
purpose.
Share one strength and one value that you have.
Style.
So your creativity.
And let your neighbor, your colleague reflect back to you. Oh, you said you have this strength and you have this value.
Faith comes with purpose, with style, faith in action.
Yes.
Like that.
If you could sell, you're powerful. There's a saying that nothing happens until somebody sells something. Everybody in the organization, whether they're accountants or they're engineers, will forget it. They will build all kinds of product. Unless somebody sells, nothing happens. They don't have a job. Nobody else have a job until somebody sells something. All right. So let's wrap up. Let's wrap that bit up. Somebody just give us an example of what you've identified as a core strength. Core strength.
His strength is patient. He has patience.
Hey.
Yes. And his core value is integrity. He's big on integrity.
So patience. He has patience.
Yes. According to him.
Yeah. All right. Patience is a virtue. Patience can be a virtue. When can patience stop being a virtue? Can patience stop being a virtue?
Yeah, sometimes.
Do you draw the line?
Yes.
Where do you draw the line? All right. But it's brilliant. Anybody else wants to share?
I think my strength is quality.
Quality.
Yes. Quality.
Is it a value system?
Based on the work I do, sometimes when I'm working and I have colleagues that will say, can you just do it quickly, do it anyhow? I'm like, no, if I want to, my work always speaks for me. It has to be different.
What kind of work you do? Creative?
Filmmaking, yeah.
Filmmaking. He makes film and say one of the stuff is making sure it's the best that can be done. It's both a quality and a strength. Now, yes? Able to work under pressure. Able to work under pressure. That's a strength, right? That's a strength. Work under pressure. Some people panic. Once there's pressure, they collapse.
Like I influence people a lot.
Influence people a lot. HR, what work do you do?
I'm a customer relation officer.
She says she's a customer relation officer. She says she can influence people, and that's a strength she has. She says she can influence people. Now, that's beautiful. Now, let's move on to the next exercise. You want to come up with a mission statement. You want to begin to build a mission statement. And I think the person that would easily complete this, what's your name again, ma? Let me come close. Millicent, like Millicent and what? CIA. Okay, I like that, Millicent. Okay, sorry. Millicent. Now, what he says, listen to me. When you were talking about Fatima, you used some words. What did you say about Fatima? And when did you realize me not a politician? So I take things for what they are and I take people for who they are. He says dedicated, fearless, outspoken, passionate. What is she passionate about?
Young girls, women and girls, women empowerment, gender equality.
Let me say this. You have to have a mission in life. You have to vote for one thing that you would stand up for in life. For your life to make meaning, for you to stand out in that big crowd of gray and you be the only one that stands out. And it's funny, some people, and I don't know, and I don't blame people. I'm not easily judgmental, these days, because you don't live in people's shoes. I just share what I've experienced and try to energize people to say, no matter how low you are, you can get up. The sun rises up every day. You have to rise up every day. I'm telling you, the sun rises up every day. So you have to pick yourself up, no matter how the day ended up yesterday. And so you have to have a mission. You have to have something to live for that is bigger than you.
Oh, yes.
Something to live for that is bigger than you. That's the beginning. That's why it's called a mission. What impact are you here to make? If you can't see beyond this, you can never be a star. You could never stand out. You have to have a mission, something that is bigger. Not all of us, and it's funny because, if once you're at the stage where you're struggling to even pay your fees, mission becomes a problem for you. Because how do you think about mission when you can't even pay your fees? And that's a reality. Ultimately, fighting all through this, don't lose sight. You can never stand out unless you have a mission. Now, there was this guy who did some stuff, Fred, what's Fred's name? ALU, the guy who has Africa Leadership Academy, Africa Leadership University. Fred, what's his surname? Swanika. Who said Swanika? Smart guy. Because our customer care. But it's Fred Swanika. Fred Swanika said, people should stop choosing, when you go to university and they say choose a major, he says people should stop choosing a major. People should start choosing a mission. If you go to university with a mission in your mind, you are a different person. You can get A in biology, but if there are no value systems solid enough, it doesn't help. It doesn't help. That is why people can be in a class where, they could phone the teacher, pass me picking. I will send money, like pass me picking. Now for let pass no more. Now for let me picking pass no more. So even in relating with lecturers, whether they go, what the things you could do for grades and blah, blah, blah. If you don't have a mission, it's easy to stray. It's easy to be led astray. You can't be consistent. You have to have a mission. And so the first thing you have to now decide in your question is, what is my mission? My mission is to, this is the sentence. The sentence is, my mission is to, you could call it I exist, or my mission is I exist, not the same thing. My mission is to, then who's the target audience? I asked you the target audience, you say, what did you say the target audience was? Girls, young women, and and youth. Girls, young women, and youth. That's broader. You can actually even reduce it to in a particular location. They could be from your village where you come from your town in Bo, blah, 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 because it's too big. The country is too big. You have to narrow your passion down to a particular set of people in a particular proximity in a location. So the sentence I want you to craft now, which you're going to do next, is, and if you do it seriously, it stays with you for the rest of your life. Now I'm telling you stories about what started in my life when I was 21 years, going 22 years of age. Maybe somewhere around your age. That is when this craziness started with me. It was my 20s, approaching my 22nd birthday. 2 weeks to my 22nd birthday. So this could be a eureka moment. Don't take this for granted. My mission is to blah, 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 blah. What impact do you want to make? To who? To this target audience. Like I said, narrow the target audience. Who are the people you want to help? And AAG, already you have that in mind in terms of who they are. I want you to craft that in a sentence. And by what action? What action am I going to take to do this? Or what strength am I going to use to do that? It's through your musical lyrics, my musical, whatever, my musical skills. That's what I'm going to use to do this. Some it's through my civil engineering skills. It's through my medical skills. Whatever it is. So that's the sentence. That's the next you want to go. And once we finish, we're going to have volunteers. We're going to have volunteers read out what their mission statement are. You have 5 minutes beginning now. And how? By using the strengths that I have. By using the strengths that I have. So you have 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes. Take this seriously. My mission is to impact who was at IPAM in 1989. Yes, 89. That's a long time ago. Some people have not been born yet that day. But 1989 I was at IPAM. You have to have a mission. You know to mango. If I don't have mango chicken in the morning because bats wake up you, then you happened. It's not a life ride for me. In a village, we grew up in a village, Wellington. Some of the guys that we grew up together and have nothing against them. It took the grace of God for me to hear when I'll be 60 in under 2 years. Yeah, I'll be 6 years of age, and so some of them are still there. Nothing changed. Mission. Write it down. What is your mission? What is your mission? And develop a logo. Who you are. That's how you begin to stand out. 6,000 people applied. Only 1,000 could be allowed in. 2 minutes to go. There's a purpose for that. Please take this serious. Take this serious. Write it down. Many parents and folks are in our life, but yet you're not using the opportunity that is in front of you. You're not. I say, it's not possible. Those moments that I used to was the fighting power, the fighting spirit was awakened because I declared a mission at age 21, 22. We have 1 minute, 1.5 minutes to go. This is for your life. If it was event for event, I would not be here. Live in, that in the human capacity that we have if we can unleash them. And so every now and again, that's why I'm energized to energize young people. Yes, 1 minute. You're going to have some volunteers that will read out our mission statement. My mission is to write the impact you want to cause. For what target audience you want to do this? And by what? What action are you going to take? And what strengths do you have that you're going to use to do this? Who wants to go first to share their mission?
So I exist to help girls and young women to know and access opportunities, their rights and responsibilities, to empower themselves through advocacy, education, and skills training.
To empower themselves okay, you're doing that through advocacy.
Yes, so I exist to help girls and young women.
Yes.
That's my target audience.
Yes.
To know and access opportunities.
Yes.
Their rights and responsibilities.
Yes.
Through advocacy, education, and skills training.
She would advocate, she would educate, and
empower through skills.
My mission is to graduate from university with flying colors.
Yes.
And to have a better life.
The mission is impact. You know, saying a mission within a mission or beyond graduation, there's an impact.
Okay, the impact.
What impact do you want to create?
Is to create a better life for me and society.
Better life for you and society.
Yes, and my target audience are like the youth, the young people coming up, to help them. Maybe for instance, like for me, I was a victim. Like in my first year, like I was suffering from to pay my school fees. So as for me, if I have a better life, I think that will be my first mission, to target people who don't have that opportunity to educate.
What I'd like for you to do is to work on it's a third part. It's an impact you want to create. In all what you have said, I could see the sense there. You want to be able to make sure young people, youths do not have to struggle to pay their fees in university. So the impact would be around financial empowerment for young people. But like I said, reduce it, narrow it. You can't take the entire Sierra Leone. It's too big for you. Start with a community. Start with people you already know. Let's go. You have 5 seconds. 10.
Youth through mentorship by providing training.
Go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
Providing training and networking programs.
Training and networking programs. Let's go. You'll be fine-tuning it as you go ahead.
My mission is to empower less privileged people to be financially stable. Capacitated by providing them small financial funds for them to establish small business.
As a techpreneur, my mission in life is to foster digital and economic transformation by utilizing the power of technology.
Utilizing the power of technology. For who?
to foster digital and economic transformation across Africa.
For who? Across Africa. I like this word so.
I am John Adonisam. I have a brand which names Adionis.
You have a brand already?
Yes, Adionis. I spell it Adionis.
Adionis.
Yes.
Yes. So give me
And my mission is to ignite the passion within young graphic designers who may doubt their potential, reassuring them.
You see, it's narrowing them down. It has to be narrowed. You can't. It's too big for you. It's too big.
Yes, young graphic designer who may doubt their potential, reassuring them that they can achieve greatness.
That they can achieve greatness. So he's targeting young graphic designers and empowering them. Yes.
Okay. My mission is to be a successful entrepreneur.
To
to impact Africa tech ecosystem and empower youth.
To impact Africa tech ecosystem and what?
By empowering youth to upskills Africa in terms of skills development and creativity and innovation.
Hey, that mission is long. That mission is long. All right, but it's cool. You get the idea. Let's take it from Pamela. Let's take a few more.
My mission is to create a better environment for myself and others, especially children and youth, through youth engagement and field journalism. Because I'm field journalism. Field journalism. Yeah, I'm studying journalism, and I've been into some youth engagements to Bont, and also some field work for some like children and doing.
You're in university?
Yes,
Public
college.
Public college.
Yes. And we'll be doing some field work. Like the experience gave me the made me to like go into that mission, to have this mission, because like when we went, so the last field work we did on something like menstrual hygiene, and also children that are going through this menstrual poverty. Like it's something that is affecting everybody around the world. But then, without you knowing that it's existing in your own country, like I never knew about it. So when I went there and filled it, like something has to be done. And then there is this organization named Woman Talk in Sierra Leone existing that are making they are making like you can use the parts. Like you don't have to buy the Western own. Yeah. They have their own. You can buy that one and then you use it. I was like, this is good. This initiative is good, and I'll be helping them.
You want to meet Fatima Bio?
Yes, but inshallah.
Send a message to her.
No problem.
No, send a message to her. Tell we could send that video to
really, the message is I'm not only for the pads, and also the girls need more. The pad is one, and also the knickers, like the hygiene, the education, because Woman Talk, they are really doing well for that. And
how do you feel about what the First Lady's been doing in this area?
It's good, and we need to do more. It's good because like people now, they are now like open up to this, in especially in our own culture. When you talk about menstruation, like it's a taboo. Like you feel as if like I'm ashamed of it, but it's not. It's a blessing from God. So without the menstruation, you and I will not be here. So menstruation is a blessing, and I believe we have the 28th of May. Yes, it was the menstruation day. So like we should not be ashamed of it. Like we should be encouraged for it. Also, men need to like not take it as a joke. When a woman is in a menstruation, you need to like be there for her, explain things to her, like encourage her.
She's becoming a big advocate already, and she's going. So she can't stop talking.
No, sorry, but really at that time it really affected me, to be honest. Like I was so much like I had the opportunity, like I never suffered for it. Yeah. But seeing that like there are other people that are going through that, I was like, no, something needs to be done. And the package they give me, when I saw it, I was like, everything is there that a woman need. There was a towel, the soap, the pad itself, and also Woman Talk. And then there were even extra ones that we can use. And there are people that are going through that. They don't even have. Yes, you can use them again. You can just wash it and then use it again.
Put your hands together again for her. What's your name again?
Adam Nuhu Jallo.
Adam Nuhu Jallo. Nuhu, Nuhu.
Yes.
Adama Nuhu Jallo. We have some of our compatriots who. That this man? It makes sign, and we have some people here who need help with communicating, but he writes very well. Because so my mission. What are they done? You want for interpret? Yeah. Take this.
So my mission. My name is Peter Siddiq Bila. So my mission is to empower the deaf community in Sierra Leone by advocating for their rights and providing access to education and vocational training, to leadership and individual communication. He said this is the time for explain say. So many times people are not able to understand deaf culture. Some people say deaf not important. But if you really focus on deaf, you gonna say deaf people are very important. You see, you get some of your colleagues then that they show say they're able to access and able to understand the special needs where they need inside the deaf culture. As the meaning of all this where they happened, right now you they explain about the mission and other things them. It a big another idea that bottom it be happy say this are very delight. He say I tell you plenty thank you for what you they do, where they educate the others them so they go to follow up in their next features.
Easy for. If something don't meet you, say easy for not for, because again, there's so much we would affect with in our life. There's so much that we're struggling with, Like I said, who talks about a mission where they can't even pay school fee? You college fee self now the family then they shape you, they come then they pay 10%, then Auntie Musu pay 20% for the college fee, then Uncle Sori pay 20%. In that state of mind, who talks about mission? Who talks about mission? But listen to me. Your way out of that, and make sure you picking them, not can tell the same story, is to swear that you will stand out. And this is where it starts. It's to swear. It happened to my parents, it's not going to happen to me. I've started it now, but I'm not going to end like this. And my children and their children's children will not end like this. It's a vow you can make, but this is where it starts. It's just decreeing I'm going to stand out. And this is where it starts. And so thanks to whatever the organization that was made to make sure they are here and provide somebody able to do translation for them so that they are part of us. They are part of us. Oh, I can get emotional when these things be. But again, so care for them. You've already seen, but please, I beg, take this serious. Write them down. The reason why I could be, 20, 30 almost years later, 30, 35, 36 years later, I'll be repeating the same thing. I'm repeating the same thing. Now, this is who I am. Now, we're running out of time. We would create time for questions and answers. Let me see what else is there. So, understanding and developing unique. Let's take that last one now. We would just repeat and just re-echo and re-emphasize what we've said. What is voice and tone? Now, it's funny. Now, voice, it's a combination of, practical stuff. Like, I can't, even me don't know my voice. Okay, maybe yes, I know my voice. If I hear my voice playing somewhere, I will know I'm the one talking. But it's interesting how people you're talking and people say, Abass, just by hearing your voice. Now, so there's a physical voice, intonation, and the way you sound and the way you talk. There are things also I do. And the culture of who you are, your mindset, and the style. Dr. Aproko, what's Dr. Aproko's style? It's humor. Now, so in communicating even your mission, you have to have a voice. You have to have a voice, which is a combination of the tone, the style, the culture, the environment. What I have been through shaped me growing up in Wellington, Abuel Omole, I sell na market table. I'm negotiating for my mama na market. But it's your unique voice. Voice is equals to the tone plus the storytelling style. You have to learn how to tell stories. You have to learn how to tell stories. You have to learn how to tell the story about your mission, why you're passionate about it. You have to write it and write it over and over again. And when I'm telling my story, I have the 30 seconds version of my story. I have the 1 minute version. If not 2 minutes you give me, I get a 2 minute version. If you give me 1 hour, I have the 1 hour version. But it's a story I have told again and again and again and again and again. So your storytelling style, cultural relevance, who am I talking to? Once I'm talking to people who know what I've been through, once I'm talking to people like that, I use the language. I use a language that they can connect with. I use a language that they can connect with. So it's a voice. It's a voice. It's called a voice. Now let's move to, I don't want to belabor that. We could come back to that. Now he says, we'll play for that. Wrap up. I could open this up to a question. We have 19 minutes to 6. So I want to spend the last 20 minutes to do this. Now, the elevator pitch is basically using the combination of your mission statement to say, this is who I am, blah, blah, blah. And let me spend 2 minutes on your elevator pitch. You all have to have an elevator pitch. One of these days, you're going to meet that person. What are you going to say to them? We all need help. We all would need help. Now people and people and shoulder and their knees. That's how we all got up and walked. You have to have this packaged. Now this guy, the salesman, when the salesman sells, do you have a sales script? What do you sell? What do you sell? What category of items do you sell? Computer products. You sell computer products. Now, any good salesperson will tell you they have a script. The script says, hello, how are you? If you're meeting somebody for the first time, whether you're talking over phone or face-to-face, hello, ma, how you do? How do you go? They tell them step by step what you should say first, what you should say second. If the person says this, then you say this. If they say this, then you say this. It's called a sales script. A mission statement and an elevator pitch is your own sales pitch. I was helped. You will need help. Somebody has to help you. So packaging your story in a 1 minute version, so that even if the corridor na meet up, you could in that 1 minute say who you are, what you do, why you do it. So that's why you have to fine-tune this. Fine-tune it, please, I beg of you. Fine-tune it. My name is Abass. I was born to illiterate parents. I dropped out of school age 21. I met a mentor. That's not the 1 minute version. I met a mentor who made me realize that where I was in life wasn't just because my parents were illiterate, but it was down to choices I had made. I started making better choices. Immediately I started doing that, I started seeing new results in my life. And so that's how, life by design, that's how life by design came to be. And so therefore I'm committing myself to be able to help people realize they too have that power. Through the instrumentation of their choices on a daily basis that they make, they can shape their lives. I help young people create the future they want to experience. These are languages, of course, I've said them over and over and over and over again over the last 35 years. They are part of me. So you have to. Life tough. 80% of a problem is a money problem. And most maridos, go now. Most maridos. If you see, then you don't make club as the man get money, the club they done. The stress, poverty gets stress. I'm serious. And so the way you do it is to make sure it doesn't happen to you. Make sure poverty doesn't happen to you. And the way it's I'm going to stand out. And this is why it starts with all this process that we've gone through. We says mission statement, your strengths, your unique voice is equal to stand out. Your mission, when a combination of your mission, your strengths, and your voice. What are my strengths? What are my values? What mission do I have? My mission is to blah, 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 blah. with the elevation pitch and blah, blah, blah. This is all the three things. I could take my own life and scatter them, and I could show you how each of these composite in me building the brand. Even how I communicate, I've practiced this over and over and over and over and over. If you know how many hours we took to just put this slide together, pull this, break this way. But knowing how do you communicate that, your own voice. Some people say, I don't even realize that I laugh in a particular way, but they say that's laugh. Say that's laugh, the way he laughs, and it's natural. That's me. I can't, it's natural. So, but your strength, what strengths do you have? Work on those strengths. I mean, a soldier. I woke up last night 1:30, and I was up till 7 o'clock. From 1:30 to 7 o'clock. I need to go sit exam. Not for exam. I mean, a soldier. There's consistency, there's energy. I have commitments to people. There are problems to be solved, so I sit and work. I go now, host 10 o'clock. I don't sleep. I don't get time for waste with anybody. Bam, so 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock, maybe not 3.5 hours down there. That wouldn't be much. Then I sleep 7 o'clock, I wake back 9 o'clock, 2 hours. And I was up, ready for Canada. Consistency, a voice. We will close with one stuff, but let's take question, then we can close with a pledge. Because there's something you have to now do, where you commit yourself for do, and you would have to write, what are you going to do with what you have learned today? That's the last exercise we have. Just right now, what are you going to do with what you have learned today? Are you going to have 5 minutes? Once you write, I take questions, then we close. How many minutes left? Right all over. So you must have not lived in Freetown, and you must have not been following AfriCell for the last 10 years to not know Joe Abass. Because, I'm involved in a lot of stuff, radio, television, during Ebola, blah, 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 always at the forefront. Communicating, empowering, now we have Startup Body Shop. Startup Body Shop is stuff. Now, so do you have the body shop, the JB stuff? Whilst you're doing that, and some part we must for don't do them already, can you just scan this? I have a YouTube channel that I'd like everybody here to subscribe to, if you've not already done so. Even from where you're seated, you could just scan this and subscribe to my channel, the JAB podcast. There are lots of stuff we're putting out, and we're talking about, even if you share whatever you share. Please subscribe to the channel now, whilst we're trying to wrap up. That would be how you say thank you. Subscribe, please. Subscribe and maybe send me a message. Post a message. You also have the Facebook. Post a message. Even on the pages and Pamela, we should do the Facebook. Whatever, whatever. This will take you somewhere. But just subscribe to the channel. Want to see your details there, and then we could take it from there. And even this video, are you recording this? Ha ha ha. So listen to this. This video is going to be edited and it's going to be posted on the YouTube channel. How do you like that? Right. I could see Adama. This is, and it's funny, and this is how it could be played, and who knows? The other day I actually had to organize a visit from somebody who wanted to be a lawyer, not me, and a Walsh student wanted to be a lawyer. And we organized for the girl to go visit the then Chief Justice. There was a lady, female Chief Justice then that we had. And we were able to organize for this lady, this small girl, to go visit the Chief Justice. Now, Umu Hawa, stuff. Was it Tijan? Yeah, it was the Chief Justice, so we had to organize. So you never know. You never know. So please go to the subscribe. We'll post the video. There are lots of videos there. Those things will change your life. They will change your life. Don't look down on yourself. Never, 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 ever. I was worse. Mr. Ibu in Peking, then say the wrap it up and gift paper. And then go. Wake every day and have that mission before you. Wake every day. Fight. I'm a fighter. That's what I'm telling you. So I'm a fighter. And it no longer has to do with me. If not be minimal, who cares? But no. I've said, my commitment, what I'm going to do for the rest of my life will dwarf everything I've done till age 58. It will dwarf. It will be picking business. So that's why I put extraordinary energy into my life. If you've already scanned and stuff, what was the last thing we said we were going to do? Questions? What are you going to do? What are you going to do with what you've learned?
Excuse me, I am going to... Okay, I already know that what I'm doing... Sorry. I already know that what I'm doing, I'm on the right track. So what I'm going to do from today is I'm going to keep being consistent, put out a lot of my content on my channels and my social media. So because I'm passionate about making Sierra Leone content stand out in Africa continent, and I get a lot of reviews.
Obviously, you know, lots of Nigerian movies, it's really Yoruba. They subtitle it in English, but it's really based on the local languages. That's one of the things Siba is pushing for. Siba is saying, like, you know, you have to, in a Punish speaking, you have to teach Creole in school. And you know, Chinese don't have to learn English in a second language to Chinese. Where are they in terms of technology? Far miles. Because once person they learn in their own language, it's different. It's easy. It's different. So it's a crime to push people for learning another language. Then to go inside classroom, the first thing they're in our language, you don't know about it. Teach them Pamende, teach them Palimba, teach them Paloko, teach them in their original language. Anyway, that's for another day. What are you going to do? What are you going to do with what you have learned?
Yes, I'm very passionate.
Okay, yeah.
I'm very passionate about graphic designing. So starting from today, I'm going to commit myself defining my goals that will stand out in a dynamic digital printing. My focus will be on clearly articulating my aims and objectives in a way that not only captivates but also benefits others, particularly the vibrant young creative minds eager to make their mark.
Watch videos. Go to Madam Customer Care. Now, yes, the lady at the back. Now, so let's wrap up. Let's wrap up with this. Watch videos. This is what I advise you today. Watch videos on how on personal branding. Watch videos on personal branding. How do I? And begin to notice when people introduce themselves now, notice how they do it. Notice the level of deliberateness. Go along, go to Grizzlick, go to Vicky Remo, go to all the stars that you know in Sierra Leone who are brands, people you respect. Just study what is it about them. You would see some consistency in what you have talked about in terms of the things really around their competence and the value systems. Their competence, they're skilled, they are super skilled. The Queens, you Salon football women, then go win one cup, then there's a. What's the cup then win? West Africa. We male team in the Minerva win zone 2. We've been on win zone 2 before, you know been big 8-10 Who that big like me, we you know zone 2. We've been winner, and also play zone 2 now. We've been winner at 86. But anyway, skills, what are you good at? Master. Because if you see the stuff we lined up there, one of the things that you take is really competence. You know, to really carve out your voice, it's your competence. You know, here, the strength and expertise. What are you good at? Civil engineering. Come meet me inside my zone. If you meet me, civil. So, me a master. Once in my game, I'm master of my game. I watch, I build myself, I study, I read every day. Maybe 2-3 hours. I'm on YouTube 2-3 hours every day. 2-3 hours every day. 1% Niner News, 2% Manchester United. Yeah, depending on how we for Manchester. Depending on how we for Manchester United. 1% in news, 2% in Manchester United. The rest is about building this person that I want to see. Content, master, entrepreneurship across the board. I'm solidifying myself. If you look at my profile now, my WhatsApp profile, I have there the obstacle is the way. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. I fight every day. I have a future I want to see. There's everything that's coming around me that making sure it doesn't happen. I fight back. Because it's a life that I can shape. It's a life that I can design. It's a life by design. I want for me to take beautiful photo. You know, they plan the program what I would like for take photo with tonight. What I like for take photo. Me check what I want to do. Wait one last person for talking now. One last, you want to say something? Somebody wants to say. Yes, go ahead. Sorry.
It's okay. So for me, wetin I dey take home. So
Take home.
yeah.
Sorry.
Me na a product of ALU. You talk about Fred just
Yeah,
now.
Fred Swanika.
And this nothing all way we dey do. Like first year we go, you get for write your mission statement. So we dey graduate with your mission statement.
You graduate with a mission statement.
So we they say
It's
for
a
read
different
and
world.
just now I be post online, I be try for fair and for read them. But I think one thing we say now way and not really be take too serious. It's the believing that we all need somebody for help we. So now one thing for no say you need somebody for help you. Now one thing for believing them, even in the mission who they write, we need for believing them. Because not just write and down, you need for believe before achieve them. So I think that I'd go work on actively because I don't do in rooms with people who actually able for help me. But the fact that I not believe, say I need somebody for push me, they are not able for pitch myself to them. So yeah.
It's interesting. So take my number, WhatsApp number, just in case. Obviously, I'm busy, but just in case. If you think something has been shared and sometimes we look for volunteers. If you're super skilled, we look for volunteers for walk around with. Like Startup Body Shop, we office is 62 Dundas Street. 62 Dundas Street. Assistant Pamela. The team, they talk to the team after. But reach out if you think you qualify for and you want to walk around us. But follow this Facebook page. Follow the YouTube page. The YouTube channel, there are lots of things we put around there.
You actually gave me an assignment to style you.
Good sense of fashion.
Yes, you do have.
I'm not sure. I'm not even sure.
Yes, but you don't have color choices. That's the problem.
Good.
That's the problem.
So you want to help me with color choices? Yes. AAG's masterpiece. Get along begin selling himself already.
Yes.
Now, give me. Okay, you don't give me number already. This time calling card. Okay. So the next time you see me, she would have styled me already. Yeah. but that's brilliant. Make use of those opportunities. You're in a room. You need people. Now by lane. And something I learned, it's really not what you know now the lane. If you not get the lane that is going to be so far.
Yes. Oh yes.
It's not the lane. Yes. Asabio. The things they want to know for do. I can take $1 million and create 100 million out of her. But unless I'm put in the position where I can do that, it's not going to happen. So there are people who then give them 100 million and they reduce them to 1 million. They would, because they don't have the capacity, they don't have the skills. No matter how much skills you have, you need a lane. You need a lane. And one of the things that builds that for you is this branding. Is you have to stand out. You have to begin to deliberately, what do I do? And so watch videos. No matter how much you sabi, you need this. You need this. You need to know how to do this. If I'd played this game even very, very well, I could have been a lot further down the line. But take this and take it serious. People are around you, brand yourself, do all things, competencies. Your mission, your core values, why you do, what you're good at, and learn how to communicate that. You can't go wrong. We start with prayer, Lord, and with prayer. Father, we thank you, Lord, for everybody that is gathered here. Muslims, Christians, Lord, we are grateful. I may not meet some of us here again, ever, not to even die, but because some will travel out of the country, we will grow in various ways. But may what has been shared today be so impactful that it will shape and change lives, not just these lives, but their generations. Thank you for the ministry that would organize this and bring them together. Thank you for the government that made this happen. Give us the strength to continue to fight on, to not give up no matter what's happening to us. The favor, help us, send people in we way that will help us to the next level. Give us the strength and the energy to do that. In your most precious name. Let's take it.
Life by design.
It's a life by design.
Life by design.
Life by design.
This is the JB Show, and it's your life by design.